Hey, welcome to Cooking with RangerRob. Grab your aprons and let's get started, guys. Before we get started, please take the time to subscribe, then click on the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. This video is made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available in Amazon right now. Hello everyone, this is Cooking with RangerRob today, and we're not using the trigger. No, we're not using the Blackstone. Today, we're going to make bread pudding. Why? Because I was at the store the other day, yesterday, and I found this. It was all this chopped up bread. And all I could think of is bread pudding. Yeah, isn't it? So I bought 2 bags of it. So today, in this video, you're going to join me and Sherry in making bread pudding. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And by the way, we're going to be using a little bit of booze. Yes, we're going to use a little Crown Royal. And should be good. Anyway, let's get started. Well, the first thing we did was pull out our bread and let it sit for the day to dry out. We also ended up using Jim Beam bourbon instead of Crown Royal. Then we grabbed our raisins, poured some water on it, and added, yes, Jim Beam to it. And those were delicious just by themselves. We also have a little show and tell here of some of the ingredients we'll be using. And we melted our butter instead of using a cube. We also will be using whole milk and half and half. You want to use a large bowl for what we're going to do here, so we're going to start off with 4 eggs first. Then scramble these little buggers the best you can before you get going. Now add 1/4 cup of sugar. Continue stirring really well throughout this process. Let's add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we're adding 1/2 cup of butter, and we melted it first to make it easy, but make it lukewarm before you add it. Now we're adding a dash of nutmeg. Just go easy on this and do it to taste. Be careful not to use too much. Here we added a teaspoon of cinnamon. Continue to mix well throughout this process, as we said before. Here we're adding 2 cups of half and half. Now add 1 cup of whole milk. And just one more reminder, continue to mix everything really well as you add ingredients. Now it's time to add the bread to our mix here. And we're using both containers you saw earlier to fit actually into 1 square container. You need much more bread than can actually fit in the original pan, but once it gets soaked, it will fit in just fine. We are using about 1 pound of bread. Not exactly, we measured it by the pans and not by the weight. Now you just want to dunk all that bread into the mix and get it all soaked in and let it sit for maybe a half hour or so before we're ready to start cooking. And just keep working it. Be careful not to break up the bread and just kind of tumble it. Now after about a half hour, we're ready to put this into the pan. This is also a good time to preheat your oven to 325. Now we're going to do this in layers. So we're going to do 1 layer of just the bread, and then we're going to start adding our raisins to it. And by the way, these raisins, once they've been soaking in water and making them softer and putting a little bourbon on them, I could just call it quits right here and just eat the raisins. They were delicious. So once again, you just kind of spread some of your raisins around, then do another level of the bread, and then once you do that, you're going to put more raisins on it, and just keep layering, and then you'll put a layer of raisins on the top when you're all done, and you'd be amazed all that bread fits in that pan just fine. And we're at our final layer here, so she's just putting what's left in there on top. And once again, she'll put a few more raisins on the top of that, and we'll be ready to go. And this is the finished product, and we're ready to go to our preheated oven at 325, and we're going to start out at about 40 minutes on. After about 40 minutes, pull it on out, do a knife test, or you can use a toothpick and just stab it right in the middle and see if you get any remnants left. And this was pretty much ready to go. We did put it in for another 5 minutes or so, but here's the finished product. Once your bread pudding is cooled off, you're going to get some more ingredients like milk and Jim Beams and all those goodies, and we're going to make the topping. Let's start off with 1 egg. Now let's add 3/4 of a cup of whole milk, half a cup of sugar, 1 dash of cinnamon, maybe 2 dashes, a dash of pure vanilla, and a dash of nutmeg. Once again, go easy. Mix really well and get ready to put it on the stove at a simmer. And now we add the dash of bourbon. Go easy. Let's simmer this on the stove till it slightly thickens. Now that our bread pudding is cooled off, it's time to start cutting it up and do the taste test. And here we go. Here's a close-up look of it before we add the goodies. And by the way, it smells delicious. Now we're going to add our topping. And yeah, we're serving some other people too, but focus on this one. But don't forget the glamour shot. Here we go, glamour, glamour. Oh my gosh, does this look good or what? Now, you gotta have ice cream. So of course, Tillamook ice cream, vanilla, put some on there. And here is a nice bite. And it's going down with a little piece of ice cream on it, and gone it is. Yes! We're sorry to inform you that this video has ended due to indulgence. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.